I was approached by someone on behalf of Stroud District Council. And my involvement was actually to look at the properties from an initial point of view and actually to see whether renewables would actually work. And all of these properties actually had storage heating, so there's no gas. It was actually a case of coming down, surveying the properties, speaking to tenants, getting an idea about usage and how they use their heating, how much it cost them, looking at the thermal fabric of the building and how efficient that was. It was quickly identified that actually the buildings needed a more of a holistic approach because there was lots of fabric upgrades that were needed to the building rather than actually just fitting a heat pump and changing the heating system. So it was a case of surveying the building, working out what the fabric improvements were, and from that I formulated a plan that was presented to Stroud on not just actually installing air source heat pumps into the properties, but actually doing quite a raft of fabric improvements to actually make the properties more efficient before we actually installed the heat pumps. So I'm standing next to a 5 kilowatt Mitsubishi Ecodan, and before we'd done all the thermal improvements to the building, which was bricking and blocking up, forming a cavity, replacing the windows A++ rated windows, which are argon filled and have a plastic spacer bar to reduce the thermal conductivity across the bottom of the window, then this heat pump would have actually been an 8.5 kilowatt Ecodan, which actually would have been about this high, still the same width, the same size, just a little bit higher. Taking a holistic approach to the building, as we've done, has actually made sure that although the capital costs of the programme were that much more expensive because of doing these works before we did the heat pumps, what it's enabled us to do is actually make sure we've got the right heat pump and have done all the fabric improvements. It's fabric first, renewables, and that's the right way to deliver it, and the residents then see the best benefit from the project. Yes, there is a high expenditure up front and quite a high capital cost, but over the 7 years for the RHI or the 20 years for the feed-in tariff, the project actually gets most of the money back. And it's also reduces the amount of planned maintenance that they will be carrying out over the next 25 years in that life cycle. This show home has two purposes. It was done as a tenant education house, which has been very important. We've had on the second phase of heat pumps that we've done, where we've done 400 heat pump installs, we've had nearly 180 tenants through the show home that they've seen it. We've held specialist tenant events in the evening and during the day to fit in with people's work and that. And the second kind of part of the show home was actually for the council, for councillors and people that work in the repairs section and the maintenance section and housing officers to actually come and see, again, what technology was going to be fitted to the residents' homes that we're doing, what it does, how it works, because again, it's taken a holistic approach. It's taken actually the whole organisation on that journey and actually explaining, similar to what we do with the tenants, this is what a heat pump is, this is what it does, this is what the cylinder is, and you've got the cylinder because that produces the hot water from the heat pump, and again with the inverter and the voltage optimization. And then from the council's point of view, we've put LED lighting throughout the whole house, and we've also got mechanical ventilation with heat recovery, Mitsubishi Losne unit up in the loft, doing the whole house. So the third part of the project and delivering the show home was actually the energy performance certificate. When we started the work, it was a 48 and it was E-rated. And the idea was to get it as high as possible. And with all of the work that we've done, we've actually got it to an A rating on the energy performance certificate, and it achieves a 92, which is higher than most new builds that are built these days. And it's demonstrated that for a reasonable cost and a staggered programme, you can achieve that on every house that Stroud District Council has. So taking that holistic approach has allowed us to get the technology fit right time first and actually do the fabric upgrades, which then actually the whole package together delivers the most efficient heating system that the resident can have and the lowest running costs. From Stroud District Council's point of view, it has been very good to have the whole project thought out from start to finish and actually have one person do all the design, the specification, oversee the installation, do the project management and deliver the project.